Okay, so for some reason the mic was messed up. I'm gonna see if it works. I'm gonna see if I can hear myself. Okay, that's why. Okay, give me a sec. Give me a second. Okay, that's why. Okay, give me a sec. Give me a second. Okay, I think it's working. I just had to let my puppy outside. Okay, I think it's working. I just had to let my puppy outside. I think the mic's okay. I'm gonna... I think the mic's okay. I'm just setting something real quick. There we go. Okay. I don't know if anybody's watching. Probably not. But I'm gonna test something, put test, make sure it shows up on the screen. Probably not. But I'm gonna test something, put test, make sure it shows up on the screen. I think my audio's okay. Yeah, okay, I can see it. Okay, good. Good. How do I chat? That's that. Okay, I think we're all right. Lapis the Wolf, Zenith Dark Star. Aren't you Jewels' friend? Thank you for being a good friend of Jewels. I knew it! I knew you sounded familiar. Of course. Any friend of Jewels 37 is a friend of mine. I trust Jewels. Jewels is called Jewels 37 because he is the Jewelses of all the Jewelses. Exactly. There we go. So if the music's kind of loud, I'm trying to fix that. Okay, there we go. Right now, I'm working on making I am making a thumbnail for someone, so that's what I'm working on. Oh, my dog's bite. I depart now. Bye bye. You too. Bye bye. Okay, I'm back. Concurrent viewers, why does it say there's 2 people watching? Who's the second person? It can't be myself. Okay. I'm gonna have to start adding characters to this at some point once I add more details. I want to grab my other earbuds, so I'm gonna grab it real quick. Get the full earbud experience. I think it connected both of my earbuds to the same computer somehow. No, it's off on there. Why does it say it's connected? That's weird. Okay, let me... I want to hear it through both of my eardrums! I want to hear it from both of my eardrums! It doesn't want me to hear it from both of my eardrums. That's... Okay, I'm gonna probably switch earbuds in a sec. Because I don't know why this one's not wanting to connect to my... These earbuds do not want to turn on. Don't you just hate it when that happens? Pickle Rick? Pickle Rick? Pickle Rick. I see how it is. Pickling the Rick right now? Pickling the Rick. Literally. Boost Bracelet, you should hop on stream. You should hop on. Because I'm currently by myself. You should totally, like, skibbity on. You know what I mean? I should totally hit that skibbity Rizzler move. Or something. I'll probably work on this for a little bit because I am I've gotten so far, and then I'll probably play Minecraft because I've been really wanting to get that urge out of destroying my enemies in Minecraft. Hi Pickle. Every time somebody says pickle, I just think of Hi Pickle from Hypixel. When me and my little brother were really little, there was this we had this running joke where we would call Hypixel Hi Pickle, and ever since I've kept that joke running since 2016. And very few people get the joke, and honestly, I don't know where he got it from. I just know I got it from him. So which, I mean, if you hear somebody say Hi Pickle, it's kind of hard to not say Hi Pickle back. Because, like, it's literally Hi Pickle. How could you not say Hi Pickle? It's literally Hi Pickle. Is there anybody... And... Oh, there's 3 people in the good chat, but I'm scared if I join, they might say something that cannot be said on YouTube. So I'm gonna not hop in there. What is Joel's37 doing? Oh, he's in a VC with Expo and what's a server that I'm in that other people are in? Why is everybody online right now? The Coder Show. Okay. Pokemon Black 2 random. Okay, they're playing that. What's a server that I share? I know where to go. I'm going in here. Haha. I'll go in there. We'll see if he realizes I'm in there. We'll see. We'll see if he realizes. Because I'm kind of too scared to go into my server because... I farted. You farted? Oh, you're stinky. You stinky. Chazzy is stinky.
I did fart.
I don't know how to respond to that.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I haven't played Fortnite at all this season, so I'm sitting in my lobby at level 12.
Level 12. I think I'm at level 31, but you can level up really, really fast this season. I haven't touched it, so you'll probably get to a higher level than I'm at.
That's not why I'm like super worried about it. Yesterday I finished playing Donkey Kong Bonanza.
How did that go?
It is genuinely like game of the year.
Really?
I'm honestly not even just game of the year, it's game of like the past 5 years. It is one of the best games I've ever played. And like I don't want to spoil the ending or anything, but like it kept dragging out, but in a really good way.
So since you're technically a game developer, from a game developer standpoint, what is it doing right that other games don't do right? What does it have that makes you feel that way, is basically what I'm asking.
So I'm gonna compare this to other Nintendo games. So obviously the most obvious comparison is Super Mario Odyssey, right?
Right.
That game is very free-flowing, right? Like you can do whatever you want to do as long as you get X amount of power moons to get to the next world, right?
Right.
Just like any other Mario game. uh, and it's very non-restrictive. So like, even though a moon can be intended to be gotten a certain way, you can do it in any other way, right? Like if you're supposed to use like a capture to like climb up a building, if you just wanted to jump over to that building instead, you could do that as well, right?
Right.
That is something it does right. However, a common complaint you'll find with Mario Odyssey is that there are just way too many moons in the game. I think I want to get my numbers correct here. How many moons Mario Odyssey? There are 880 unique moons in the game.
Oh wow.
And as a result, a lot of them feel kind of samey, or like you just stumble upon them, right?
Right.
They're kind of handed out. A lot of them are handed out like free candy. Now that being said, Mario Odyssey is a fantastic game, right? In order to get like the most out of the game, you would be going for like the main moons, and if you go for the main moons and then the ones you find on your way to the main moons, you're going to be able to beat the game in a way that feels um fulfilling, right?
Right.
And of course there's like moons that are way off the beaten path that you feel super rewarded for finding, but then and there's also your fun little side moons that you would have never thought to get, like in New Donk City. There's a New Donker just sitting by himself on a bench. If you go to that bench and sit next to him, he'll give you a power moon. So it's stuff like that. But then there's High Boost.
You're hiding in my server and you didn't invite me.
I thought you were still watching the stream. I guess you left.
No,
because
I
said-
wasn't. I was like, hang on. I
said-
thought you were
I
in your
said
own
this-
thing. I was like, okay,
I
how did
thought-
Chezzy get here? You're not in your server. And then a Chez's like, wait, this is my server. What
I thought you were still watching the stream because there's 5 people watching
No,
it right now.
I went
So
to
I was
edit.
like-
I went
I
to
said-
edit.
Because I was like, Booze, you should hop in. You should skippy right into the VC, and then
No,
I
was
didn't
in the.
respond, so I just...
I was
Okay,
editing
right.
something. Not for perfect. Never for perfect. But you know how it be. Never for Gemma last name.
But
Go ahead,
Oh,
Chessy.
yeah, and
I just came
so
out to say hi, so I'm gonna go now.
hi Riley.
thank you.
Bye.
So yeah, that's the the way Mario Odyssey is designed has a lot of positives, it has a lot of negatives, right?
Right?
Now the way DK Bonanza solves that problem is there's a lot less filler bananas, right? Bananas are like the main collectible in this game. It's DK's version of like stars or moons, right?
Mm-hmm.
It solved this problem by making all the collectibles, the majority of them don't feel like filler. There's like an actual challenge design behind each and every one of them. And on top of that, the game never requires you to collect a certain amount to beat the game. Like if you just follow the story, you do not have to collect a single banana. Now, you're thinking, well, why would I want to collect bananas then? If you collect bananas, it improves your skills. You get a skill tree, and like every 5 bananas, you get a skill point. And so you are actually incentivized to collect every single banana you find because you want to get stronger, right?
Right.
And so that's already one thing it does better than Mario Odyssey, is it makes every banana fun to find. It cuts down on the amount of them. Because Mario Odyssey has 880 unique banana or power moons, right? Donkey Kong only has 777. So that's 100 less. And that's only to get like like the true ending or whatever. You can also, exchange chips for extra bananas, so you can level up your your skills without like actually having to like find every single banana. So like in total, there's like 1,000. For Mario Odyssey, it was like 999. But all those extra moons were like, you buy them from the shop.
Right.
Um. So yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's sort of. It's like you might have heard complaints with like Tears of the Kingdom, where it's like it's too free, right?
Yeah.
Like there's
Yes.
pretty much no challenge to anything because you can make one machine and then like it solves pretty much like every problem for you. It's like you have to like actively be engaged with the game's mechanics in order to actually have fun with it instead of just doing like the one thing solves all solution. Uh, Donkey Kong is it feels like a combination of Mario Odyssey and Tears of the Kingdom, but in their best aspects. Because like Donkey Kong, he can climb pretty much everywhere. He can skip almost everything, but none of it feels unintended, or at least unintended in a way that the devs were like, we know they might try this, and we're just not going to stop them. Like you can skip an entire world in Donkey Kong if you want it to.
So, other words, it feels purposeful.
Yeah, like the devs were like they're like so like, there's a certain point in the game where you make a choice to like do you want to go left or do you want to go right, and depending on which way you go to a different world. um and then when you get to the end of that world and you go to the next layer, you realize, oh, I have to go back to that other world anyway to complete this bridge to get to this other thing, right?
Right?
um and the way it structures that is, when you land, um in this new layer, you have to go down, and it's kind of like it's like a fork in the road, right? And so it's basically like two roads coming together, right?
Right?
But you can't get off of the road that you're currently on without activating the other thing, right?
Right?
Or like there's like a power thing they have to knock out so it can like pull up a bridge to get to the main area. But in order to get from the main area to the other road, you have to, do the same thing, but with the other world, right? So you have to go complete that world, finish it, get back to that road, destroy that thing's power generator deal, and then pull up the bridge for that one, right?
Right?
Uh, in one of the worlds, you get the ostrich bonanza, which turns them into a bird that can fly, right? And so if you make it's not super precise. So it's like you definitely knew they were like, okay, they're gonna try this. We're just not gonna stop them. You can just fly over to the other world, destroy its power generator thing, and pull up both bridges.
Most games don't
Like
give you that much freedom. That's actually
yeah,
quite
no, it doesn't.
interesting.
And it's done in a way where it's like, yeah, no, you can do that. You can totally do that if you wanted to. You're gonna be, you're not gonna have the the form that you missed out on from the other world, but I mean you can do it if you wanted.
What are y'all doing?
Hi.
What are y'all doing?
Chezzy's talking. I'm live streaming me a drawing, and Chezzy's talking about giving me his full-on analysis about the Bonanza game because I've heard nothing but good things about it. And I was asking Chezzy because I was interested what he had to say because he's a game dev, and I was asking from like his game dev perspective, what is it doing right compared to, what other games have done, and he's just basically explaining that to me.
Now, there's a a lot more in terms of like game stuff that it does, but basically the point is it respects your time. There's almost no filler, and whenever it does feel like there is filler, like the game will just feel like if you feel like you can skip filler, you probably can, and the game just
All right,
lets you
I
do
will
it.
be right back.
Oh, continue talking.
So it's just it's a very free flowing game but it still has that very linear structure that you would expect from like a Mario game. It's just
Very
it feels like
interesting.
an actual adventure. Not to mention like you upgrade Donkey Kong at a very reasonable and expected pace. Um, the story is actually very compelling. It's a really good story, and it's like you know how like in a standard Mario game, it's there's some variation to it, but it's almost always Peach has been kidnapped. Go kick Bowser's ass and save her, right?
Right.
That's pretty much it for every Mario game, with some variation here and there. With this game, it's like there are stakes, and it is like go to the planet's core before Void Company does. But if there's actual stakes there because you have young Pauline on your back the whole time, and while yes you are trying to prevent Voidco from like reaching the center and granting her wish to have infinite wealth or whatever, you're also trying to make it so that Pauline can get back home. And throughout the entire journey, like she's she wants to be a singer when she grows up, right?
Right.
And DK has given her like the confidence she needs to do that, and it's just a really damn good story, and it doesn't like force it on you or anything either. Like you can skip the story stuff if you wanted to.
It sounds like the perfect game to me. I'm very much a story person. The fact that it's a game where the game like it feels good to play, but it's also a good story and it's optional. That's
Oh, yeah.
that's fantastic, actually, and unusual for games.
I say optional, but it's like it's not like it forces you into like a 5-minute cutscene every 10 minutes, right?
Right.
And it's like whenever there are big story moments, it's during a gameplay section or like after a boss fight. It's always during downtime, right?
Mm-hmm.
They never pull you aside and be like, hey, we're gonna drop this 5-minute lore dump on you. It's always oh, you're at a getaway, you're gonna you know go to sleep and rest up on your health, and Pauline will have a couple things to say to like comment on like the lair or like what life back home was like, something like that. You're back awake and you can go back to gaming. And I think almost every cutscene is skippable as well, so like there's that. um but yeah, it's like you can skip the story if you want to, but I mean it's so good that you just don't want to skip it. Especially when it comes to the ending. Like again, I don't want to talk about it, but it's like it is one of the best endings to any video game I've ever played. Because it kind of like the stakes were already pretty high, but then something happens and it gets so much higher, and then something else happens and then it gets so much higher, and something else happens and it's like, oh my god, this is the biggest thing that's ever happened in a Mario game.
I need to buy this game. I need to buy this game.
Like it is
Is
genuinely
it Switch
so good.
exclusive or is it gonna be on
It
the regular
is.
Switch?
It's Switch 2 exclusive.
No, no. I might buy a Switch 2 just to play that. That sounds amazing.
Now there is an option to play co-op with someone else. So like, and I think it works online as well. But like, if I'm playing it on my Switch 2 and you have a Switch 1, you can connect to it with your Switch 1, and you play as Pauline and she like does stuff. Um, but yeah, no, the game is like the game would not run on Switch 1. It is a very hardware intensive game, but it looks so good. It is one of the best looking games I've ever played.
Probably why it couldn't be on the Switch 1 is because of how It probably would break.
Oh, they showed a development photo because it was originally in development for Switch One. Um,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah, here's a comparison photo that the devs showed.
Let's
Like you
take
can
a
see
look.
how much, like you can see how much less detail there is on the Switch One version.
Oh. Well, was that it would have to load all that stuff on the screen.
Yeah,
I can see
but
why.
also another thing to note is that every single thing you see in that screenshot is destroyable. And there's already, and you don't get to this type of lag until like way later in the game, but the game does start to like frame drop a little bit if so much is happening all at once. And again, that's only whenever it's like, later in the game when there, it's difficult and like lots of terrain is being thrown everywhere. Uh, but like this game absolutely would not run on Switch One, at least in the way it does on Switch Two.
Well,
But
what
like,
it sounds like to me, it sounds like it probably would have had a Sonic Frontiers issue, right? Where it was too much to load on the screen to the point where you had to disable some stuff to make it run better,
oh yeah,
which really cut its quality like by a lot.
oh yeah.
They probably didn't want to have that issue, so they just like, okay, only Switch 2. So that's probably why, I would assume.
And also, it probably makes sense to have it on Switch 2 only because like the game is just so fucking good. It's definitely selling consoles.
And Switch 1 is outdated by a lot now.
Yeah,
So
I'm sitting here explaining the game to you, and you're like, I have to buy a Switch 2 for this.
well, I wasn't. It's funny because I was not interested, but like you're making me interested. You might
I
have
would
sold me here.
I would like. I feel like this Donkey Kong Bonanza is the Breath of the Wild of Switch 2. Honestly, the only difference is it wasn't released on launch day, and honestly, I get why it wasn't released on launch day because there was a very good chance that this game could have failed simply because it's a Donkey Kong game.
When was the last time we got
And
like an official Donkey Kong game?
the
Actually,
last time we got an actual Donkey Kong game, it was Tropical Freeze on Wii U. I think it was 2013, 2014.
over a decade.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it got good reviews. It's a good game.
Well,
But
that was fun.
Oh, what happened?
I kicked Terra's ass in multi-blood,
Oh.
and I ruined their dreams of ever playing another fighting game again.
Tropical Freeze sales.
Oh wait, what is this for? Is this for Dreamcast or?
Wait, what I'm making?
Yeah, is this for Dreamcast or?
This is so it's a Harvey said he would pay me to do another thumbnail for him, and it was last minute. He doesn't have anybody else that can do it, so I'm doing it for him since I have time.
Did you record when we did the peak session with Nokai and the others?
Did I record mine? Yes, I did. Did they
Oh,
lose
okay.
their footage?
For free.
Yeah, it looks like we're gonna start editing it. I can share it in the server.
Oh, okay. Am I supposed to edit something, or do they just need my footage?
No, for like your POV, because I think Nokai
okay.
can edit the video.
Okay, because I still have my footage. I didn't get rid of it. It's still in my OBS recording folder. So.
Sagat is out already?
Who else is editing it?
Huh?
Is Nokai editing it?
Probably, yeah, maybe.
Well, I sent it to Max, so hopefully he sent it over, but I don't know.
I'm sorry, Matt?
No, Max. Max sent it.
Oh, okay. It sounded like you said Matt, British boy.
Alright. You know what? At least you didn't say job. Too many people say. Sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Job.
Stop saying slurs, Joels. Not
So
again.
how much,
Not
how much-
again.
I need to look at the. How much is the Switch 2 right now then?
It's $450. It's $500 if you get it bundled with Mario Kart.
Don't get it bundled. Mario Kart World is kind of dead from what I've heard.
No,
I've heard it's dying.
it's still pretty much alive.
Really?
It is. A lot of what you hear is very dramatic.
The thing
Um,
is,
what
the
the-
reason why I wouldn't get the bundle with the game is because I'm not very interested in the Mario Kart World Tour. I've pretty much
Well,
watched other
it-
people play it.
First off, it's just World, not World
It's
Tour.
just,
Oh, oh.
actually, it's Mario Kart World. I got it right, buddy.
Second off,
Nice.
I would say I mean, it's Mario Kart. You're probably going to get it at some point, right, to play with people.
So
and
it
honestly,
makes sense
I would
to just grab the bundle. Nice.
I would just grab it, especially since it makes it $30 cheaper. Like, I love Mario Kart World. Honestly think it is the best Mario Kart game. That being said, it is not worth $80. I would not pay $80 for that game. I would pay $80 for Donkey Kong Bonanza. It was a $70 game. I would pay $80 for it because it is that fucking good of a game. But Mario Kart, no, that can be $50.
Somebody pointed something out interesting about the Switch 2 in the chat. Zonka said, fun fact, the EU version of using the contract of the Switch 2 isn't as strict as the US one. What does that mean? Like,
It's less specifically about the Switch and more just game consoles in general. Because a lot of what you hear about, like, they they have words, please work for me, please. um
is it
them being
they can
allowed to
break your system if
yeah,
nobody
all that fear mongering, it's only half true, right? They only brick your system if you're like, not if you mod it, but like if you access online stuff with it. Which is like, you're not supposed to do that anyway.
That's fair.
But
Rivals of Aether.
I mean, every
2
company does it
is
to
that
begin with. Like, Xbox does it, PlayStation does it. You just don't hear it as much because,
I remember when everybody was like, literally everyone, like, it was a trend to make videos about modding their 3DS, and there was somebody that was talking about how Nintendo had put out an update on the Nintendo 3DS that if it detected that you were modded, it would auto brick it. I don't know how true that is.
it wasn't very true. Because again, it requires that you connect to their official servers, and by the time that trend was happening, no one was connecting to their official servers because I'm pretty sure they were dead at that point.
Well, then that makes no sense why that was being spread, because at that point you couldn't even connect to it because it's gone. So how could they brick it?
Yeah. Now there was a time where they sent out a warning saying, hey, don't connect your Wii U and 3DS to unauthorized networks. This referring to stuff like like the fan made servers where you play like Mario Kart 7 on. But I mean, the whole reason why they're saying that is purely for legal reasons, because they don't want to be on the chopping block if everyone's systems get bricked because they got hacked by a malicious user.
Well, that and you're connecting this to an unofficial network where anybody could
Yeah.
access whatever data is attached.
They're not responsible for what happens to your system if you connect to it. That being said, they're not taking any measures to take down those networks either. So it's like they don't care if you do that. Yeah, it's like I will say, like Nintendo as a company, they're trying to make profits. They're trying to make sure that their consoles are looked up in the greatest light. Now their methods, I don't agree with all of them. I think some of them are not good, but a lot of the current public opinion about Nintendo is just it's very much overblown.
Nintendo's an evil
Like-
corporation. Grr!
Like people are blowing up about how like if you bought a used Switch game and put it in your console would brick, or like not let you use it, and it just wasn't true. Because what was happening is, the original owner of that copy of the game had dumped it and put it on like like a MIG switch where it can hold like a whole bunch of games on it, and using that, and then having your own copy of that same game, tripping up Nintendo servers, be like, hey, there's two versions of the exact same thing, that should not exist. Nuke that one, because it's assuming that you're doing something malicious. All you have to do is get on the phone call and be like, hey, I've got the receipt of me owning this copy. This is mine. And they'll be like, oh, okay, and just undo it.
My username is XX_DragonSlayerXX. I'll have you know that I do own this copy, and you can find it under my Nintendo ID known as XX_DragonSlayerXX. Okay, _XX DragonSlayerXX. Here's we found your receipt.
But yeah, like, again, I'm not trying to be like corporate bootlicker or anything, but like the
This
worst
is-
thing Nintendo has done is like take down fan games. Microsoft and Sony are so much worse as a company.
Honestly, they're still corporation, but they are still leagues better than what I've seen other companies do. Not that they're
Like-
they're like 100% amazing, but they're still leagues better.
Yeah. Yeah, like 8 Shop, yeah, like that's
8 Shop, yeah.
unofficial. Nintendo hasn't approved of it, but I mean, they haven't taken it down either.
Well, they haven't sued anybody for it yet, as far as we're
Yeah.
because I don't think they care that much about it, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah, because it's decade-old hardware, and that hurts to say, because I owned the 3DS on launch day. That what? I can't believe that was 15 years ago.
Jesus. You're making me
But-
feel old.
Yeah. But like, I don't think they care about the 3DS and Wii U anymore, simply because we're 2 generations past that now, and they're focusing on Switch 1 and Switch 2 sales at the moment.
In a way, I feel like
Um,
we're going backwards, not in the sense of like, the way that things are, what's the word? I feel like, I don't mean the sense of like, oh, like we're going backwards in the sense of like, oh, technology. The design of the Switch in general reminds me a lot of the Game Boy. In a way, it's just like a Game Boy that's been beefed up,
I get what you mean. I
better.
get what you mean.
but better.
Yeah, it's yeah, no, Nintendo. It's a very fun design, I guess I'll say.
And it's not heavy. Like what I liked.
Wait. The
About-
just
Go ahead.
real quick, you know how big the Switch 1 is with like the Joy Cons attached?
It feels like you're holding a brick. Yes.
So that is the size of the Switch 2's screen. Just the screen, not with the Joy-Cons. It is,
Jesus. Jesus.
but yeah, I went on a trip recently, and I took the Switch 2 with me, and it was really comfortable on the plane, honestly. It was a very, like, it felt nice to hold. It didn't feel heavy. Now, it could just be because I'm a guy and I have big hands. And the thing doesn't feel heavy to me at all, but it's fun.
Honestly,
Also, I
that's
like how
really
they
nice,
incorporated the
nice
mouse
to
and the
hear.
Joy-Con.
Because like my problem, this is as much as I love the 3DS, my problem that I had with like the 3DS
Why did I get pinged?
related to this is that like it felt it would it would get like get your hands really like in my experience it would feel like if you're laying down and you're holding your 3DS, your hands would start hurting because it felt kind of heavy, and also you would start sweating because of just holding it. And I feel
Yeah.
like with the way you're describing it, it sounds like it doesn't hurt from holding it for too long. That was the problem I had with the
It
3DS,
doesn't.
is that my hands would start hurting from holding it too long. If it's
Yeah.
something that doesn't feel uncomfortable to hold, then you can play games for longer periods of time without like feeling extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah. With the Switch 1, it was a bit cramped, but it was like, I get why it was cramped, right? It was, they're trying to make a small system. But the Switch 2, it's a lot bigger, but it's not like unnecessarily big. It's still smaller than an iPad. Or well, I guess it's about the same size as an iPad with the Joy-Cons, but I digress. It's very comfortable. The buttons feel properly spaced out. Whenever you're using like an individual Joy-Con, you're not like fighting for space with your hands. So honestly, like the Switch 2 is like that's the best $500 I've ever spent, and I only have like 2 games for it.
Was assuming I'm gonna assume this is that so you can still play Switch 1 games on the Switch too. I'm assuming, right? You can put your games into it and it works like normal.
Yeah, it's like playing a DS game on the 3DS
So
or
does
like
it
a Wii game on the Wii U.
feel like it runs any better when you put those old games
Oh
into
no,
it?
wait, they 100% run better.
Really?
Now, aside from like the obvious, like like Super Mario 3D World got an update for Switch 2 that like bumps up its resolution, and like bumps up the frame rate on Bowser's Fury. Mario Odyssey got a similar update like that. Obviously, those they obviously run and look better on Switch 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not talking about those. So like talking about like Smash Ultimate, right? That game, it did not get a Switch 2 update, so it runs exactly as it did on Switch 1, right?
Oh.
Now, when I say exactly as it does on Switch 1, I mean the way it was intended for Switch 1. It still benefits from like the faster loading times of Switch 2.
Well, probably in better frame rate too, or is that not changed?
No, the frame rate's the same.
Okay.
Okay, it's literally the Switch 1 version, but at its best capacity, right?
So
Because
it's
there's
like
no reason to drag down.
beefed
So like
up.
it is beat. So like there's like 78 characters in the game, right? And all of them have like 8 alternate costumes, right? On the Switch 1, if you went to like the last few characters on the roster and started switching between their costumes, their those renders for their costumes just would not show up for a good like 3 seconds, right? Because the game is sitting there trying to load every single render for every single character for every single costume, right?
Right.
On Switch 2, it's instantaneous. It doesn't stop at all. It's just like, oh, you want to see the the 8th costume that Sora has? There you go. It doesn't lag at all in that regard. Matches they used to take like 15 seconds to load. They take 3 seconds now.
Wow. I really
in
want to play
fact,
Sonic Frontiers on that because Sonic Frontiers was almost unplayable on the Switch.
So-
I really want to try that out.
bear in mind, it's the max capabilities of the Switch 1 version, right?
Right.
And so, like with Sonic Frontiers, in order to run on Switch 1, they had to make the game, they had to cap it at 30 FPS, and they gave it like a dynamic resolution so it could stay at 30 FPS. And even then, it couldn't maintain 30 FPS, right? It would kind of dip a little bit, right?
Right.
On Switch 2, it is a constant